Mike Tyson had that moment for himself and his family. I'm happy to hear that he's better health-wise. I'm certainly happy he got that bag. I think it was about $20 million that he got for the night. On that surface, I'm very, very happy for him. I wish him nothing but the best. All of us who love boxing will forever be fans of Mike Tyson. Mad love and respect to him. He looked bad. He looked like somebody that was in a hospital months earlier. He looked like somebody that, as he described, who lost a lot of blood, lost a lot of weight, etc. I watched Mike Tyson walking to the ring. He stumbled while he was walking to the ring. Then they looked lower when the camera angle zoomed out, and he had a knee brace on his right knee. He got in the ring, he looked old, he looked slow. And I want to make sure that I'm clear about what I'm about to say. Under no circumstances do I believe it was something that was preordained, but I believe that when Jake Paul was in the ring with Mike Tyson, there was something that said to him, I can't do this.
Terence Crawford just challenged Jake Paul after his fight with Mike Tyson. Terence Crawford didn't hold back when he aimed for Mike Tyson performance against Jake Paul, the reigning WBO welterweight champion. Made it clear,
you have a legacy like Mike Tyson. Are you putting yourself in that position just for $20 million?
Hell yeah.
I'm never downplaying my legacy if I'm a person like Mike Tyson.
He fought Roy Jones Jr. How's he downplaying his legacy? He got paid $10 million to fight Roy Jones. He got paid $20 million to fight a YouTuber.
How many boxers was mad that the whole fight happened? It was a lot.
A lot. You know why? They didn't get the call. No. They didn't get the call. If Kai want to play me one-on-one right now for $100 grand, I lost.
That's not the same thing.
I'm sure like Mikal Bridges on the yeah. What happened to Gil Jumper? It's called $100 grand.
I'm not selling my soul. I work for that.
Brother, you sold your soul to the Bucks.
No, I didn't.
Hey, play the video.
Huh?
he wasn't impressed with what he saw from the former heavyweight. Kingpin Crawford didn't sugarcoat it. He outright called Tyson's showing trash, brutal. Right, but let's face it, Tyson was up against a much younger opponent, and the 58-year-old had been out of the ring for nearly 2 decades.
It just hurt me to see Mike there in that situation, like knowing Mike, what he can do, and see him there with Jake Paul, and Jake Paul like, hey man, like that side just hurt me. Although like you have to give it to Mike, man. This is 58 years old Mike Tyson that been doing this sport since 12 years old, I believe. And then to be able to still be able to like stand up on his own at this age, I think is impressive. And stand up against a young 27 years old guy, even though I would say he wouldn't be at that level, but wasn't that much a threat for Mike, though. Like, you have to give it up for him, to him, standing up by his own at that age, and go like over 15 minutes with a young guy. Man, that was impressive.
We saw what you said, joking around that you would smack him around the next time you see him. He responded, is it that crazy to think he just fought at heavyweight? Is there any scenario where there could be a Francis Ngannou heavyweight boxing match?
No. Come on, don't be silly, Steve.
You get people are bringing it up though. He did fight at heavyweight.
No. Maybe we put the two Paul brother in the arena and in the cage, lock the cage, and then maybe there's something to do there. Come on, like, respect me a little bit.
So was it really surprising? Mike Tyson was once the guy in boxing back in the 80s. He was a wrecking ball, knocking out opponents left and right, holding the heavyweight title like it was his birthright. Even after his 3-year stint in prison, the fear factor brought into the ring was unmatched. People saw Tyson and thought this dude is gonna obliterate anyone who stands in his way.
I'm not gonna try to knock him out. He's Mike Tyson. He's 58 years old. He's 31 years older than me. I know I can take him. I don't need to do this. And for those who were questioning it, I will remind y'all that there have been moments in boxing where we've seen fighters exercising compassion. I remember when Larry Holmes reportedly cried because of how he was beating up on Muhammad Ali, praying that he wouldn't get up. He wouldn't get up and he wouldn't come out to fight. I remember seeing fighters, I've seen Roy Jones knock folks out, but step back and ask the referee, come on, man, stop. You not stop this, you know what I'm saying? I've seen plenty of fighters do that. And I'm saying that is what I saw Friday night. It was, I did not want to see, I was praying that Mike Tyson didn't get hurt. I was praying that he didn't get knocked out. I didn't want to see that. And I think that Jake Paul, there was something inside of Jake Paul that said, you know what? I don't want to do this either. And oh, by the way, it would make me look really, really bad to hurt this man because he shouldn't have been in there with him in the first place. Mike Tyson's 58 years old. Father Time is undefeated. There comes a moment in time when we all have to step back and step away. Mike Tyson, I will remind y'all, almost 20 years ago, got dropped by Kevin McBride, as L. Duncan pointed out last week, and wasn't even hurt. He was just tired because he was out of shape. And he lifted his arm looking for the referee to help him get up. And that was 20 years ago. So yeah, he went 8 rounds, eight two-minute rounds and stuff like that. I'm glad it's over, Shannon. I was not happy with what I saw. Quite frankly, I was very, very sad and I was scared looking at him in the ring, praying that he didn't.
But Father Time doesn't play favorites, and Tyson's age showed during fight night at AT&T Stadium. Jake Paul, at just 27, was fresh, energetic, and strategic. Tyson, despite a solid start that gave fans a little glimmer of hope, couldn't keep up as the fight dragged on. By the time the decision came in, Paul was the clear winner, leaving Tyson's return to the ring feeling more like a nostalgic throwback than a real comeback. Now Crawford stepped into the conversation with his sharp critique.
Terence was inspired by what he's seen this weekend in the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. And not only did he have some criticism for 58-year-old Mike Tyson, but he also felt that it was time that he show the world that he can do 90,000 people and break the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson attendance record. Attendance record. Not the gate, okay? I know there's going to be people like James Benitez that's talking about the gate, talking about $2 million seats. I don't think that's what Bud is talking about. He made it clear, 90,000, which is a number we haven't seen in boxing here stateside, here in the U.S., you know? So this is what we're going to be discussing, you know? I'm not an Illinois guy. Terence believes he can do this in Memorial Stadium. So I'm hoping we get some callers that can fill me in. Based off the comment section of his tweet, the people believe that, you know, Bud can do 90,000. They believe that area would come out and support Bud. I don't know. I certainly asked Bud the question. I haven't gotten a response yet because I asked on Twitter, but, you know, does opponent matter? And that's the question I have for you guys. Does opponent matter here? You know, can he do it with anyone, or does it have to be someone?
To him, Tyson didn't just lose, he failed. Crawford slammed Tyson for the lack of punches thrown, saying it looked like he had no game plan and was out of his depth. And then, like a cherry on top of an already savage critique, Crawford issued a challenge. He wants Jake Paul to prove himself against a real fighter, and not just any fighter. But him, Crawford...
I just bring something different to the table. I've had only 34 professional fights. I've had no amateur fights, so I'm learning on the job. I'm the WBC Bridgerweight World Champion, former Cruiserweight Champion. And yes, he's going to bring something to the table. Arguably, probably give me my biggest payday, without a doubt. But I'm bringing something to the table for him. I'm going to give him an opportunity to fight for the most prestigious green and gold belt.
Yeah.
So should I win, people will say, well, you beat a YouTuber. Okay, we move on. Should he win, you beat a legit boxer who's been in there with some of the best. Should he lose, well, you lost to a world champion. It's okay, Jake. It's a win-win for both sides. Truthfully, it's a win for me. From a monetary point of view, I would make the biggest payday. Because any fighter who says they don't want to fight Jake Paul because it's a good payday is talking shit. They must not lie to you. You get nothing out of fighting Jake Paul other than the media coverage that comes with it, the fame, the money, and that's what we do the sport for, to be heard and to be heard. And especially a guy who's come from no amateur background, who's come from South Africa, who had to work hard to get onto the international circuit. These are the moments you live for. Plus, you'll get monetized for it in a way that a champion deserves. So it's a win-win for both guys. I think it is realistic in a sense of, if I was Jake Paul, I'd go, well, I'm looking at this guy going, he's the WBC champion. He's giving me a world title shot. I want to test myself against the best. It's a win-win for him. Should he lose, well, you lost to a legit fighter. Should he win, well, you're a champion now, and pretty much
versus Paul. That's the kind of fight that would sell arenas and break the internet. Crawford's call-out is as much about defending boxing's legacy as it is about settling scores. To him, Tyson's loss isn't just a personal defeat. It's a blow to the sport's reputation. And let's be real, Crawford is itching to show the world that Jake Paul isn't ready to hang with real champions. Whether Jake will take the bait remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, Crawford isn't letting this one slide. The WBO welterweight champ didn't seem impressed at all after watching the 58-year-old legend get outworked by a YouTuber turned boxer 31 years his junior. The fight, held at a packed AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, was Tyson's first.
So I'll just ask the very straightforward question. Do you know who his next opponent is yet?
We do not, but what I do know is Jake is the face of boxing, no matter what anyone wants to tell you, okay? And he may not be the face of boxing from being the most advanced boxer at this point in time, but the heavyweight champ of the world is calling him out. Artur Beterbiev, who's one of the pound-for-pound greats, is calling him out. Gervonta Davis is calling him out. Ryan Garcia is calling him out, right? Like, Francis Ngannou, who Jake has supported time and time again, is putting up tweets talking about, I want to slap Jake Paul. Again, people want attention and engagement. I get it. That one actually, didn't really sit well with Jake, given how vocal Jake has been in supporting Francis. But there's no shortage of options of what Jake can do at the big level, and also at just like continuing to legitimize himself. People forget, like, he fought a 17-2 Ryan Borland. That's a legit fight for someone at Jake's level. The difference was Jake ended that dude in the first round, and that guy wasn't ready for the moment. Just like I said, Jake was ready for the moment with Mike Tyson, but many people are not ready for those moments. So we're going to continue to focus on building his career to gain the right experiences to obtain his ultimate goal, which is being a world champion. And we're also going to continue to do massive one-off events that capture the imagination.
Professional bout in nearly 2 decades, and it showed. For all the hype leading up to the fight, Tyson struggled to keep up with Paul's energy. He managed to throw only 97 punches throughout 8 rounds, which isn't exactly the kind of volume you'd expect from someone with his pedigree, even at his age. Sure, making it to the final bell was commendable, but let's be honest, this wasn't the Iron Mike. Fans remembered from thy days the unanimous decision for PA didn't surprise anyone who watched the bout closely, while some praised Tyson for going the distance. Crawford wasn't buying it. He felt the compliments were a little too generous, especially given how much time Tyson had spent training for the fight. Still, Crawford admitted he was relieved Tyson didn't sustain any serious damage because let's face it, no one wants to see a boxing icon get hurt in a mismatch like this.